KPIX 5's Kiet Do on what led up to that arrest and the fallout. Kit?
Yeah, so the city has been hit with a $10.4 million federal civil rights lawsuit, which begs the question, was this the work of just one bad apple, or is there a deeper problem here at Palo Alto Police?
I was disappointed, I was outraged, and very, very concerned about the culture of the Palo Alto Police Department.
LaDoris Cordell, a former judge, a former independent police auditor, and a Palo Alto resident, is outraged after watching the home surveillance video of the arrest of Gustavo Alvarez. That's Officer Conde, who accused Alvarez of driving with a suspended license. But listen when Alvarez asks him if he actually saw who was behind the wheel.
But you chased me down. Who you know was driving?
I didn't.
So why you chase me down?
I drove by.
Do you know you guys are chasing me down?
By the way, a judge later dismissed those charges. Nonetheless, Gustavo goes back into the house. And that's when Officer Conde calls for backup.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Several officers arrive and kick down Alvarez's door, drag him out, and arrest him. While Alvarez is in handcuffs, Sergeant Benitez slams his face onto the windshield.
You think you're a tough guy? Huh?
The force of the impact cut Alvarez's lip and loosened a tooth. Department policy says officers are required to document any use of force, but in the police report, Sergeant Benitez wrote, "I put Alvarez on the hood of his car where he was handcuffed. No other force was used on Alvarez."
He clearly knew the use of force was improper, so why would he report something that was improper? He didn't. In my view, that's a cover-up.
Attorney Cody Salfin played audio recordings from Sergeant Benitez's own microphone that he says are disparaging remarks about the Buena Vista Mobile Home Park that also mocked Alvarez's homosexuality by using an effeminate voice.
See how much they behave when we put our foot down? Yeah. We're not going to get on out here by these freaking lowlights. And then Dad was behind him. You guys go away.
Salfin has now filed a federal civil rights lawsuit saying the department is dishonest and unhealthy.
And it's very clear that the Palo Alto Police Department as a whole suffers from a culture of violence, a culture of racism, a culture of homophobia, xenophobia. This was clearly perpetrated as a result of Gustavo's socioeconomic class. And that is not something that can be tolerated.
Cordell says Sergeant Benitez should be fired immediately, but reserve judgment against the other officers.
With respect to the rest of the department, I hope that is not the case, that they understand their responsibilities to step up, to report misconduct, and to do the right thing.
And the city declined an on-camera interview but released a written statement that says, in part, the public should know that the police department has procedures to investigate allegations of misconduct thoroughly and to hold officers accountable if misconduct is determined to have occurred. So we should also mention that Mr. Alvarez has a criminal history that includes theft and DUI, but Judge Cordell says that does not matter. An injustice on one person is an injustice on the rest of the city and beyond. We're live in Palo Alto. Kiet Do, KPIX 5.